Hello, I'm back with a bonus video talking about the ins and outs of digital marketing. Again, this is Michael Ellis, the copywriter who has 21 years of experience, not only in copywriting, but outreach, marriage, and things of that nature. So God bless you. I hope you're doing well. I want to share some things as a bonus video. I just did 3 videos on the ins and outs of digital marketing. Some of them, not all. Because as those of you that have been around know, digital marketing is very detailed, very involved, and you can teach on it for months and still not even really scratch the surface. So here we go. We're going to talk about the 6 elements of branding first. Your brand is your reputation, your ethics, your values, how you serve your target audience, how you address their pain points, and how you make them feel. How do people remember you? If I mention McDonald's, their brand brings up certain emotions. If I mention Verizon phone service, those names bring up certain emotions and pictures in people's minds. The same thing if I said Nike, Shopify, or Amazon. So the 6 elements of branding include the brand voice. Every agency, every entrepreneur should have their unique own speaking voice. As Professor Anderson said at Springfield College, it's one of the greatest things you can have to express who you are, who you help, how you help them, and the results gotten from your assistance. The next one is brand identity. Again, who are you? Who is this company? What do they do? What benefits do they provide to the customer? Let's say Geico or Planet Fitness. Brand promises. What promises do you as an agency or entrepreneur make to the client that you can guarantee will happen, and you will maximize your skills to help that agency or that client? Then there's your brand values. What do you believe? What are your code of ethics? Great philosophers are good people to study, like Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, and there's other present businesses, Home Depot, Lowe's Home Improvement, Nike, Just Do It. So that's the values and also the voice as well as identity. Then you have your brand targeting. Who is the target audience? Who is your ideal customer? You go back to your buyer personas. Some people use traditional buyer personas. Others use jobs to be done, JTBD, jobs to be done, which are much more effective. Then you have your brand positioning. How are you positioning yourself? That includes your social media channels. What channels are you going on to get visibility and to get attention and draw in that traffic to your website or your local business? Now, when someone signs up with you or connects with you, collaborates, they need to know how your process works. I conduct, and many professionals conduct, what we call a discovery call to understand the client's needs and pain points and to give them a scope of the process that we take them through. It's a journey. You let them know it's not instant mashed potatoes. So one thing I tell my clients is that, number 1, I will dive deep into your trending topic. Deep research, vitally important. Number 2, I'll give them original or authenticated storytelling. AI can't do this. That's where AI fails. Only humans can do this. Number 3, finding unique connections between disparate ideas, connecting the dots for proper planning, strategy, and engagement. Number 4, using in-group language and references to connect to your readers is vitally important. This is the process that I tell my clients that I do. I let them know I write cohesive, compelling, long form, somewhat short, mostly long form copy, especially on complex topics for sophisticated readers. I break it down. Number 7, I target emotions or use real persuasion. Robert Cialdini, The 7 Principles of Influence, and Abraham Maslow, Carl Jung, other great psychologists and logical thinkers can help you to get through that. Neil Patel, Brian Clark, and others. And then I let them know I anticipate the specific objectives of a particular audience. So if it's a B2B, someone helping another business, I let the agency know I anticipate your client's objections, and I handle that in the content up front. And then you have to know how to separate yourself between your business and your competitors. I let them know that too, and they're always glad to hear that because everybody wants to be heard. Everyone wants to stand out among the crowd, and you should. You worked hard for that. 10, I create a big picture concerning marketing or a messaging strategy. And again, I usually go through a discovery call, and that can last from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And here's the questions that I ask. Number 1, what kind of length or scope does the client have in mind? 2, what are your specific success measures? In other words, your key point indicators. What data from what category are you focusing on? Vitally important to make the proper type of content. Do they work with a style guide? Is number 3. There are different style guides. You have AP, Associated Press, APA, American Psychological Association, MLA, Modern Language Association, Gregg Reference, Chicago, Oxford, and you have Howard. You can use Hemingway, which is short writing, and AMA, American Medical Association. I believe I said AP, Associated Press as well. So number 4, do you have templates? Very effective. Things already set out for certain scenarios. Saves time and money. Do you have data, number 5, on the kind of content and topics your audience best responds to? This is one reason I'm not knocking startups, that I very seldom work with startups because they don't have enough traction to answer these questions, or money for that matter. 6, what's your company's unique selling proposition or power statement, mission statement? Very important. 7, who are your competitors? You want to know who you're racing against. Very important. Basketball players do it, baseball players, and on and on and on. 8, what does your process for working with freelancers generally looks like? May not be the same as a high-end photographer. So you have to know that. Will you provide topics, number 9, with initial strategies, or do you need my help with that? See, I can do both as a consultant. I can give, I can teach, I can do a combination of both. It's always good to be like a T-shaped copywriter. What's your typical timeline for processes and revisions? Vitally important. That is number 10. 11, what motivators are likely to trigger a response? Could be one or all. Is it fear? Is it guilt? Is it greed? Is it being alone? Is it desire, stress, happiness, or urgency? Most B2B and even D2C will use urgency in their offer, but it could be different. 12, what is the price of the product or service? Have to know that. Do you want it on the about page, in the sales page, copy, or just the order form page? Positioning, that's your brand positioning. Where do you want the content project? Number 13, what can you do to instill a sense of urgency so that people are motivated to buy quickly? Please include a date of expiration. Example, Kohl's in the men's department. Their shirts 50% off until June 12th. Buy now. Perfect example. And then we have 14. What does the client or customer stand to lose if they don't use your products and services. How valuable is your product and service? 15, if you're selling the product and service and you really wanted to shock the potential customer and get their attention, what would you say? Putting yourself in their shoes, there's empathy. Do you have any plans for XYZ? Could be TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. What are the limitations of the product or services? Everything has a limit. It doesn't do everything. A coffee maker doesn't make milkshakes. So that's important. Is there any legal things that I should be aware of? That's important as well. You want to stay within the boundaries of the law system. Nothing devious, nothing grimy. How about what are the top business-to-business strategies? Let's deal with that. Content marketing is 1. Inbound marketing is 2. 3. Social media marketing. 4. Search engine optimization. 5. Search engine marketing / pay-per-click. Another one, account-based marketing and retargeting, or ABM. Earned media and PR is the next one. Email marketing, industry events, and conversational marketing. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for B2B, business to business. Now how about business to customer? What are those best strategies? Or D2C, direct to customer, like Nike and Master P, sneakers and things of that nature, furniture, clothing, Shopify, Amazon once again. You have, number 1, influential marketing, collaborating with someone of influence like Floyd Mayweather, Shaquille O'Neal, George Foreman. Actually, that's what he does. He's an influencer. The grill he did not create. Someone called them up and said, well, we can collaborate. Would you put your name on this and promote it for me? Influential marketing / brand positioning right there. Then you have paid media. You can pay for ads, Facebook and whatnot. Video and audio content, very effective. We learn over 90% of information is retained through video rather than reading text. E-commerce, that's shopping online. Amazon, Shopify, I mentioned that before. And conversational marketing, engaging in quality conversations, Zoom meetings, and events, and even webinars. So let's talk about a few copy editing tools. You have the Hemingway app, very good. Google Docs, Grammarly, Ginger, Pro Writing Aid. There's Uber Suggest, Answer the Public. Then you can also use the Flesch, F-L-E-S-C-H, reading guide or score to make sure that the grade level of your content is 8th grade or less. Why? Because that makes it simple and plain to understand. Now there's 5 models of allocation. There's the model number 1, conservative content allocation. What is that? It mixes and prioritizes validated SEO efforts and sales enablement content. Now, the priority could be generating or sustaining organic growth and assisting sales, which result in a modest expectation of 9% growth year over year. And at a minimum, the brand should see 5% of organic growth. I'm just going to read a portion of these. Model number 2, moderate conservative content allocation. This mixes prioritized validated SEO efforts based on valuable search terms. That said, it does present an opportunity for more experimentation than a conservative portfolio. What are the results? Resulting in higher long-term expectations around 13%, with low best case scenario for this model would be 35% growth. Number 3, balanced content allocation. This content is mixed by many organizations to reduce risk while optimizing for slightly above average ROIs, return on investment. So in this situation, 40% of the content developed by the brand is focused on what? Generating organic traffic through validated keywords, 20% on the keywords, and growing keywords, 20% on those. The other content classes range from 10 of the total allocation of content, not including cultural content, which makes up 5% of the whole portfolio. Number 4, moderate growth allocation. Now, the likelihood of great returns increases with investments in asset classes like growth, SEO, 25%, and backlink content, 20%. A modest investment in validated SEO, 20%, hedges some of the risk that the brand is willing to take. So these are vitally effective, highly important. My favorite is model number 5. I love to offer this to clients, and they go for it just buck wild once they hear and see the results of previous data and what they can accomplish. This is to unlock a high rate of growth and has a high appetite for risk, more likely to invest in channels that require experimentation. But the exponential growth of this model embraces growing and trending SEO opportunities 30%, with the hope that these keywords will explode in just 8 demand. It also allocates resources to thought leadership, vitally important influencers, 20%, backlink content, 20%, 2 areas that can pay extremely well returns but are not easy to execute on a consistent basis. Now, brands utilizing this strategy have an opportunity to capture more than 200% growth if everything stays balanced, but also could meet with a less ideal growth rate of 5% if anything goes south. So you have to do your research and determine the mix that is right for you. The content allocation mix differs depending on the industry, marketing leadership, brand positioning, remember I said that before, and existing resources. And every model and investment in content has the potential for long-term returns. So this has been demonstrated by various companies over and over, like HubSpot, Brian Dean, Brian Clark. Those guys are really popping. Copy Hackers, Salesforce, on and on and on. And you want to make sure along with your SEO practices that it's easy to read, it's engaging, no fluff or filler content. You want to use those eye-catching titles. Brian is listing on LinkedIn 100 subject lines for emails to get them open. Very good stuff too. He's very good as well. You want to use the proper usage of your tags, H1, H2, H3, etc. You want to research those keywords and emphasize the importance of long-tail keywords. Stress the importance of a consistent block schedule. There's your calendar to the client. You want to write for the audience first, not for Google. Write in a voice that's natural, but still includes the important keywords, and they should appear naturally throughout the content. Avoid over-fluffing. That's why I stress learning how to do APA resume essays, and/or you can do resumes as well. Because as you proofread and read it backwards, if it flows smooth, it's good. If it's chunky, then you have to rearrange some things. You can also create a link building plan when your content contains links to other articles or websites back to the essays. That's nothing but high-end referencing. Backlinks come from in-text citations, and referencing citations are noted bibliographies that you learn with a essay. Then you have suggestions for shareable content using embedded codes such as infographics, video, blogs, and imagery. So there you have it. There's a bonus of the other 3 videos that I made, some of the ins and outs of digital marketing. You can find me on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. If you would like to discuss a project with me, because I've been in this thing over 20 years, exactly 21, have all kinds of background in psychology, marriage counseling, gang prevention, intervention, suicide intervention and prevention, ghost writing, contributing writing, all of that. Martial arts over 30 years, everything analytical, logic that is structured and also flexible and creative at the same time. You can reach me at mikeiswealthy@gmail.com. That is mikeiswealthy@gmail.com. Or you can reach me by calling now, area code 203-812-9082. That's Eastern Standard Time. Again, that's 203-812-9082. And if you're struggling and your marketing needs to get stronger, you definitely need to hook up with myself. I'm aligned with other people that are experts in web development and all kinds of stuff so that we can get you popping and outshine your competitors out there. So God bless you. Stay safe. Bye-bye.